And so the question tonight is whether the BJP's attack on the CBI and the government is justified, or whether the BJP's top leadership is covering for their own leaders who may be involved in this fake encounter case. Joining us on the program tonight, we have the BJP spokesperson and lawyer Pinky Anand in the studio with us. From the Congress party, Mr. Abid Rasool Khan joins us from Hyderabad. Also joining us tonight, activist Javed Anand from Mumbai, and Rana Ayub, senior editor of Tehelka, who did a series of stories on this case in particular, in fact accessing Mr. Amit Shah's call records, which were then also handed over to the CBI as evidence. We'll also be joined shortly by senior lawyer Mukul Sinha, who's also been actively involved in these cases from Ahmedabad. Let me ask Pinky Anand first. What exactly is the conspiracy here? Because it's not like Mr. Kataria, is such a towering leader of the BJP that someone would want to go after him in particular. Was the essence of the press conference today that this is all about Narendra Modi then?
See, the point is, first of all, where are we reaching out to? CBI has suddenly decided at this point of time to file a supplementary charge sheet against Mr. Kataria. Mr. Kataria, of course, is a senior leader of the BJP. There is no issue on that score. And the fact that, ultimately this is the target of the CBI to try to reach out against Mr. Modi is also evident, because using a means to an end, that seems to be the ultimate target of the CBI. And the CBI seems to be totally politically motivated in that action. The entire conspiracy theory that they are trying to weave at this point of time, it's come as a major surprise, and without any basis you invent certain issues and you put them through. I mean, even Mr. Amit Shah, frankly, the Supreme Court granted him bail, considering that it was supposed to be.
But the case is on in a trial court.
Nidhi, a case in India goes on. If you put a case where an FIR has been lodged ultimately and a CBI has given a finding, whichever way it is, the case will go on and the trial will show that there is no evidence against him. But in the meantime, the question was, even bail was sought to be denied to him, and it was Supreme Court gave the bail in a fairly reasonable manner and with reasonable alacrity. I mean, there was no issues on that score, which showed the entire complicity of the CBI and the UPA in trying to ensure that there was only targeted. This is not about a criminal case. This is about a political conspiracy.
The BJP leadership seems very agitated today, because you had Arun Jaitley, Rajnath Singh and Vasundhara Raje together, the three of them having this joint press conference, and there seems to be this strong sense of agitation that, Mr. Modi is being targeted. What is the nervousness about?
Yes, please, I agree with the agitation, I don't agree with the nervousness.
Okay.
There is agitation because this kind of complicity in trying to bring up at this kind of crucial juncture by the CBI is obviously just a tool in the hands of, whether you call them a caged parrot, as the Supreme Court has titled what the CBI has done, or you think that the CBI is doing this at the instance of their masters, whichever way it might be. It is obviously something to be agitated about. How can, at the prime time of the entire situation, when UPA is right under all possible scams, Coalgate, Railgate, I mean any gate, 3G, 2G, it's an entire circuit.
So you're saying it's a diversionary tactic, and
as usual.
And it's okay. Let me first get the Congress response to this. Mr. Khan, can you blame the opposition for attacking the CBI the way that it has, given the kind of attack and criticism the CBI is currently facing over the very fact that it is seen as a tool in the hands of the government?
Nidhi, I really would like to say that things have started going wrong for BJP from the time the Karnataka results have come out, starting from Madhya Pradesh land scam, then the moral policing there, and now of this issue of Mr. Gulab Chand being charge sheeted along with others. The whole issue is, like the BJP makes it out, that 2002 or the Ishrat Jahan encounter case or the Sohrabuddin encounter case, they are all false. Nothing happened in Gujarat. Gujarat had a picnic on those days and things were all rosy, and all these cases are foisted against these leaders on the behalf of Congress. The whole country is looking at your channel. The whole country is listening to my co-panelist Pinky Anand ji and her arguments from the last 2 days on this issue. The fact of the case is CBI has unearthed the facts and where these people are involved totally. Even Mr. Amit Shah 330 calls on that day when the encounter took place to the police officers are a part of record. The police officers who are involved are already in jail. Mr. Tulsi, who was the standing counsel of Gujarat government, has told the Supreme Court that there was an encounter. So who has done it? If the BJP has, being the government, then knows who has done it, let them come out openly and take out the names of their ministers. The fact is that
Khan, I'm sure you understand that right now the CBI is very vulnerable as a target because of these latest controversies. So the BJP will now use this to attack the motivation of the CBI. I'm sure you can understand that.
What BJP will use, I really don't want to comment, because they will even use the smallest of the thing to try to get out of the mess they are in today. But CBI, as I have been telling from the beginning, that it's an institution which is doing good work. They themselves appreciate it. They say the CBI director has filed affidavit in Colgate, and that affidavit indicts the government. All about a month and a half, you all put us into the dock saying that this has happened.
I'm afraid
let me complete it.
criticism
I never interrupted
by the
you. I
Supreme
never
Court
interrupted
of
you.
the CBI clearly demonstrates that the CBI role has hardly been something worth praising.
No, your point.
That's the least of anybody's statements.
Let me complete it, madam. You can come back to on that issue.
No, that's not all that. Your statements are totally in the air.
No, okay, let it be. There's no issue. The country decides on it. You or I don't decide on it on a channel. The fact is that CBI has done a good job, and CBI has unearthed documents, documentary proof, running into 500 pages, running into testimonies of 2,500 witnesses. The fact of the case, if today, as BJP says, CBI is being used, let the court decide. Why are you so worried about it to hold a press conference? You have been charge sheeted. You are a person who has been guilty. If there is no shred of evidence,
Mr. Khan, I don't think you understand what charge sheeting means. It doesn't mean that you're guilty.
But okay,
that is hardly anybody's case.
I'm going to come back to the issue of the CBI in just a
guilty,
bit.
Pinky
Mr. Khan, I'm just going to come back to the issue. Let me just get the others in on whether there's a sense that one gets about is this all an attack on the genuine misuse of the CBI, Mr. Javed Anand, or that the BJP appears to be nervous and defensive on this point? What do you think it is?
Well, it is not for me to defend the CBI, but commonsensically what the BJP is saying does not seem to make sense. I find it commonsensically very difficult to digest the fact that within a week of the Supreme Court kind of slamming the CBI, calling it a cage parrot, etc., the CBI will go and kind of commit one more act which would be kind of in conformity with that. So that is point number one. Point number two is that if I am not mistaken, it was the Supreme Court that appointed the CBI to probe into the Sohrabuddin case. Point number three is, let me remind our viewers that in January 2012, the Supreme Court, while asking a retired judge of the Supreme Court, Mr. M.B. Shah, to go into all the encounter cases in Gujarat between 2002-2006, when the Gujarat government objected to it, the Supreme Court observed that you pretend and you act very angry and very upset and very outraged when the fake encounter charge is made, and when the investigations actually confirm it, independent investigations confirm it, then you turn around and sing a different song. And this, you've done this more than once in the Supreme Court and in the High Court. In September 2002, it is the same Supreme Court that has decided that the case should be tried outside Gujarat in Maharashtra, in Mumbai. The last question for now is, how can so many senior top level IPS officers be involved who are all arrested and all that? I find it extremely difficult, and I think your viewers would find it extremely difficult to believe that they did all this encounter case where allegedly all of them were after the life of trying to kill Mr. Modi entirely on their own steam without any political involvement.